Kevin Metz here, and for today's Bachido Schoolhouse, I've decided to go Kyle Abbott. You know what I'm saying? I've decided to go Kyle Abbott, which is just another fancy way of saying that I've chosen to go with the Aloha look. Anyway, like I said, Kevin is my name, yes, and it's another Bachido Schoolhouse lesson. Right, now let's take a look at the rest of the blues, and I'd like to give you some insights on how to approach this melodically. First we're going to look at this chord form, and afterwards I'm going to move to a different chord form, which is going to just be a slight variation. Right now let's take a look at this. What you're going to do melodically, how you want to approach this, several combinations of scales you can think of. One obvious one is just the straight pentatonic. Up, I added a flat 5. So that was a lie. That wasn't the straight pentatonic. Let me do that over. Okay, so the pentatonic scale straight over the blues. Yeah. I'm just going to do it. Here we go. So I kind of winged the turnaround section there to keep it pentatonic, but I just kept the last little part of the turnaround. So anyway, that's what it sounds like if you were to approach it from the perspective of straight pentatonic. It's very easy to tsugaru shamisen-arize it, if that's a word, if you're sticking with the pentatonic scale, because you get the yosare, like I said in the beginning, yosare bushi sound, also nakabushi, jongara. So all those jongara type, yosare type phrases. That's, you know, definitely I would recommend, since we played Tsugaru Shamisen and since Bachido is all about shamisen in general, I definitely recommend for blues playing, you know, draw from the yosare sound as much as you want, really. That's a great fusion of East and West, you know, Japanese shamisen with Western or more, you know, international type sounding blues. In addition, though, we're going to look at some other things we can do, starting with this. As we know, modern blues, and this comes from very old traditional blues, there's this thing where you're using the minor third. In the case of shamisen, that's position 3, and bending it up a little bit into the major. Now, modern blues has phrases like something you hear a lot in modern blues guitar. What that's doing is taking the minor third and going all the way up to the major third. That's a result primarily of fretted instruments, the guitar being a fretted instrument. That gives you no microtones really, unless you bend the string, which some people do. But unless you do that, you don't have any microtones between the minor third and the major third. You just go minor to major. Once again, if that's confusing to anyone, I'm just going to remind you, all I'm doing is going from 3 to 3 sharp. The 3, position 3, and just adding 3 sharp on top of that. So now, Here's a little insight into old traditional blues, though. Traditionally, it was about singing. The guitar players started to mimic the singers who were singing the blues, and that led to modern blues guitar. However, the original idea, the original concept of moving from this minor third to the major third was the idea that you never quite make the major third. You don't quite get from the minor third to the major third. This was why this is actually called the blues. The blues means you're sad. You're not, you had a bad day, or maybe your girlfriend left you, or your boyfriend left you, or something, sad happened in your life, and that's what the blues is. It's a sad type of music. So originally, what these singers were trying to convey is that they were in this sadness, which in musical terms means minor, a minor key, but they were reaching up for happiness. They were reaching for the major third. They're trying to get there, but they're never quite making it. Now, as shamisen players, we're in the unique position of being able to actually mimic the original blues voice. Unlike the guitar, we're not obligated to go all the way to the major third. We could go just like the original singers, and we could stop there. So because we are fretless, we can actually do that. We can go back and touch part of the essence of the blues in its original expression by simply refusing to go all the way into happiness, which in musical terms is the major key, and staying somewhere in between sadness and happiness. Let's explore that a little bit. So we have here the 3 going to the 3 sharp. Here we have 3 going to 3 sharp. And in all cases, you want to resolve back down to the root. You don't want to go back to the 3 sharp. You want to go, you don't want to go, I mean, you could. That actually sounds kind of cool. But traditionally, though, the way blues phrases are phrased, it's always, so you want to move minor third to major third and then down to the root. The root in this case is the open strings. Let's take a look at this in another position. 3 to 3 sharp also exists here. So 3 to 3 sharp is 7 to 8. So let's do that as a little slide. Not quite making it to 8. So we have here, we have here, and then we have here. Let's also take a look at this sliding from 2 to 3 on Ni no Ito. That slide plus the minor third to the major third slide gives us a lot of cool little Now this also exists here, which you flip it over to the San no Ito, and it exists there. That's 8 to 9, and then open Ni no Ito. 8 to 9 here, and then I use position 6 on San no Ito. So we have, and then we can use position 10 too, which is the octave of the open string. So. So we're going to be wrapping this up pretty soon in a second here. I want to introduce one more element, very interesting element, into the picture, which is what we call in the blues, we call it the flat 5. That's a Western theory term. applied to the shamisen, it actually just becomes 5. It's this note right here. And in the blues, it's often actually called the blues note or the blue note. It gives you that kind of sound in the. So a cool little phrase you might be able to do is like slide in to a 10 with your pinky, slide down the flat 5, which in this case it'd be 9 sharp, sliding it down to 9 natural. So, and then you can apply that little minor third to major third, 7 to 8, and it gives you a nice. I often conclude that with like 9 to 10 on each narrator. So we get. You can come up with phrases like that. So anyway, with this flat 5 added in there, now we have the major third to the minor third thing. We have these kinds of slides. And now we have the flat 5. A really cool, another really cool flat, I can't say it. Flat 5 lick is. So that's just sliding in from 5 to 6. And then I use an upstroke on 9. So as we talked about the straight Tsugaru Yosare Bushi, and flat 5, minor to major, and well, whatever kind of blues influence you hear, listen to a lot of B.B. King or whatever, and you can pick up a lot of the feel of this style of music. Now for the last example, I'm using a different form as I talked about earlier. This is going to go like this. The A form, 2, 3, 4, D, right away. So the first time we did A like 4 times through, and then we went to D. Now we're only doing it once on A, once on D, and then twice on A. So it sounds like this. Straight to D. Back to A. D. The rest is the same. 2. And back to A. I hope you enjoyed today's Bachido Schoolhouse Blues Shamisen video. And I don't wish the blues on anyone out there. I hope you guys are all having a great time. And but if you are going through a period of having the blues, then of course just you know, it's not another opportunity to find more musical expression out of that. Maybe draw from the emotions that you're going through or that you went through. And to me, I think it always has a sort of sweetness when you do like these slides and put a lot of emotion into them. Sometimes they talk about music as a healing art, especially the blues, as a music that actually is functioning to get people over the blues, over their sadness by letting it out through their music. So, you know, for me that's getting into all the little subtle slides and things like that, and putting your feeling in there, letting your regrets and sorrows sort of go as the notes flow out of you. Maybe, I don't know if that's just a bunch of nonsense. But whatever, though, you gotta have your own experience. Nobody really knows what they're talking about except you when it comes to your life. So, don't listen to me and don't listen to anyone. But as far as the shamisen video goes, I hope you got something out of that. And all right, bachi on everyone. We'll see you next time. Next time.